What is going on, Sales Nation? Andrew here, the host of the Starting in Sales podcast. And today we are going over what I believe is one of the biggest time-saving methods that you can start implementing into your day-to-day starting tomorrow, all right? So what this is, guys, is this is going over and making sure that we understand the buyer cycle, the buyer's stages, all right? There's 5 stages that every buyer goes through, every customer goes through before they complete that purchase. If we can understand those, we can save ourselves a lot of time. That's why I said this is one of the biggest time savers, and that's why I think this is super important to sales reps everywhere, the buyer's stages. So without further ado, let's go right into the 5 stages, guys. We've got the no awareness stage as stage number 1. All right. We've got the awareness stage as stage number 2. We've got the exploring solutions stage as stage number 3. The comparing vendors stage as stage number 4, and then the purchase decision as stage number 5. Now, let's dive into each one of those individually, and I'm going to give you an example of what type of lead this person in this stage is, just so you can relate it back to whatever your sales job is, whatever your day-to-day is, and you can really kind of comprehend the decision that you need to make between someone who may be in the no awareness stage and you're on the phone with versus someone who's calling you while you're on that line who's in the comparing vendors stage, all right? So you're able to prioritize your time. So the no awareness stage, this is going to be like a cold call. So for me, I was going to a county library and I was looking for people who had fix and flip or rental in their name, their LLC name, sorry, not their personal name, in their LLC name, and I was giving them a call. So this would be someone who has no awareness as to what I am, the services that I provide, and how I'm trying to help them. But more than that, they have no awareness as to their own problem. So what this would look like for me is a lot of times I was reaching out to these people in this no awareness stage via a cold call because they didn't know who I was. And I was saying, hey, look, I'm a lender and this is what I can do. Oh, well, sir, we buy all cash. Oh, well, that's great if you're ever trying to leverage someone else's money so that you can tackle more of these projects every month. I'd be happy to help, and this is how we can help. So they're in the stage where they're not aware that they have a problem, and also I see this simultaneous with not aware of you and what your problem-solving abilities are. All right, so this is a lead that we don't want to waste a lot of time on. We want to get away from these cold calls because right now we are looking for people who are beyond this stage. All right, as we're trying to close business, as Q4 is winding down, that's what we're looking for. So the no awareness stage is the very first stage for a buyer who's really not aware that they have a problem, but even more than that, they're not aware of who you are and the plethora of your problem solving abilities. All right. So the awareness stage, this is probably applicable for a lot of the leads that you receive that maybe aren't a direct inquiry, but are a inquiry nonetheless. And the way I differentiate that is I have direct inquiries, which literally have a property address that the person's trying to, buy, flip, buy, and rent, whatever it is. So this is maybe not that quite ready, but somebody who is trying to get into the real estate investing world, somebody who has found out that their company needs a CRM and now they're shopping CRMs. So they're aware that they have an issue that needs to be solved, but they may not be aware of you. They may not be aware of that specific issue. Maybe they think they just need a way to maintain their client base, but really they're not even sending out email campaigns. So maybe the CRM needs to provide them a way to maintain their client base and a way to send out those email campaigns. So they're aware of the problem. It may not be their direct and immediate and biggest problem. That's what you, the sales rep, are going to help them uncover. But they are aware that they have a problem and they have made some sort of inquiry or you've made some sort of connection with them and they know what it is that you do, all right? So these are people in the awareness stage and you'll find that you're talking to these people 3 or 4 times a day. I'm always all right, making these calls and talking to these individuals because I know if I educate them properly, it's going to turn into something, but I call it a future business rotation. So this is someone who I don't know when the hell it's going to turn into something, but I know that they have my number saved. When I reach out to them, they're excited to hear from me, or at least cordial and polite. And they they don't have an immediate need, but they know Andrew's the money guy. They know Andrew's the lending guy, right? So they have me saved as that, and it's going to be future business as long as I keep nurturing that I almost said neutering that relationship. As long as I keep nurturing that relationship and providing value when I can. And again, this will be another podcast, but we do this through so many different methods, guys. Reaching out once a week, checking in, sending them happy holidays. We got Christmas coming up. Saying Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to your borrowers, your buyers, your clients. Putting out the content, making sure they're on that content list to receive those YouTube video updates or those emails that have a lot of valuable information. So that's just some ways we do that, and we kind of drag them along to hopefully get them out of the awareness stage and into what's next is the exploring solutions stage. So now I'm a direct inquiry, all right? I've got a property I'm trying to flip. I know I need financing to flip that property. I know I need a CRM. My higher-ups told me we need a CRM, and I talked to 2 or 3 reps, and they told me this is all the CRM can do. This is what I'm looking for in my next CRM purchase. Guys, you can apply this to any industry. I just had my girlfriend on last weekend, and we were talking about CRM, so I'm big on that in real estate right now, but this applies to any industry, guys. This is the direct inquiry, the person who knows what they need, and they just don't know who they need it from, all right? So this is the exploring solutions phase. What I have written down for this is it's a buyer that fully understands the problem that they have. They just don't fully understand who they're going to implore to solve that problem. So that's the exploring solutions. And the last phase, guys, the second to last phase. The last phase in terms of a hierarchy of follow-up is the comparing vendors, all right? Obviously, once they move to that 5th and final stage, they're making the purchase decision. You shouldn't be questioning if you need to be reaching out to those people. You should be on the phone with them. And I love how I just saved my order there. But anyways, the comparing vendors stage, that is stage 4 of 5. All right. What they are doing at this point is they know they have the problem. They know the people who have solutions. Now, why are you different? What are you able to provide that's different? How have you talked to them that imply that you were different? You were more educated. You were on top of your follow-up. What kind of things did you do to really stand out? Are you putting out content? Do they have the ability to see that content? So this is a buyer who's ready to get into the nitty-gritty with you. They want to see the contract. They want to see the pricing, the terms, the conditions. And if you're not, a lot of times they're comparing and contrasting either way, no matter what level of service you've provided. But if you haven't provided good enough service, they're definitely shopping around with you. The hope is that they're not, and up until that point, from when they became awareness stage to when they moved to exploring solutions stage to comparing vendors stage, hopefully you've been with them that whole time and they don't need to shop around, but maybe they still are. I'm not going to lie. We still get people who I've talked to for 6 months who still tell me they're shopping around. At the end of the day, they end up coming back, but it's not anything against you. It's just the hope is that you were there at the beginning, the awareness stage, and you were able to help all along. Maybe you weren't, though. Maybe you just came in when they were comparing vendors, but your pricing is competitive. This, guys, you see how I can go off on a tangent on this for these 4. These are just the 4 out of the 5 cycles. How important it is, guys. It really comes down to time allocation for you. And I know I just keep, saying these words about the buyers and their perspective, but all of this is to be interpreted by the sales rep as time allocation. Who am I spending my time on? What phase are they in? And do I need to prioritize someone who's in a higher phase than someone who's in that lower phase, guys? So that's on you to figure out. The last one is the purchase decision, the one I keep wanting to skip over. This is the borrower, the buyer, the client who is ready to pull the trigger. They're ready to get moving. They're ready to sign the contract. This should be first up on your task list every day. I have term sheet in all caps. Those people who have term sheets out, they are getting the call. Hey, is something wrong with verifying the e-signature? Did I make a mistake on the term sheet? Was the computer giving you issues? Do I need to send this in a mobile-friendly version? Something like that. They're getting those calls first thing in the morning because those term sheets, guys, For me, I don't want them out more than 24 hours. I mean, I'll set them good for 3 days, but I'm checking in every 24 hours. So nonetheless, those purchase decisions, guys, those individuals in those purchase decisions, those are going to be crucial for finally getting that deal in, guys. So those are the 5 stages of the buyer cycle. I hope this helps you, and I hope you're able to interpret this in a way that says to you where you need to spend your time. I'm not going to tell you that, all right, because I want to spend most of my time with the people who are in comparing vendors and purchase decision. But what it breaks down to for you guys is, how long does it take for one of your deals to close? Do you need to be there with them from awareness all the way to purchase decision? How much is the cost of one of your deals? All of these factors that I can't speak to are definitely important for you. But now that you know the 5 stages, I'm hoping that you can take this information, reprioritize the people that you're reaching out to, and close more deals. That's all for today, guys. This is episode 4 of the Starting in Sales podcast. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and we'll be back next week with some productivity tips. See ya.